I am aghast. I have heard that for 20 years. I suspect I'll hear it again in 20 years' time unless we truly act.
I suspect in opposition you would have torn your hair out at the idea that we need a multi-agency approach, but the very idea that the basics still appear not to be done, police not speaking to the NHS, not speaking to social workers, information about these women's lives and the threat posed to them not being collated, not being acted on. I mean, are you disappointed that that is still not being done in enough cases?
It's not just in opposition that I would be tearing my hair out. You know, like you on reading that, I am aghast. I have heard that for 20 years. I suspect I'll hear it again in 20 years' time unless we truly act. So yes, you're absolutely right to be flabbergasted by that sentence ever being said anymore. And so what I have to do as a government minister, and what the government has to do as part of its mission to halve violence against women and girls, is look at every single one of those entry points. There has to be actions taken to prevent. Now, I'm not idealistic enough to think that overnight I could change this and make everything brilliant and rosy, but we have to do the work on the entry points and learn lessons rather than just saying we've learnt lessons.
Do you worry sometimes that we're losing the battle against misogyny, the battle against violence against women? The National Crime Agency and UK law enforcement have identified a deeply concerning trend of online networks of predominantly teenage boys dedicated to inflicting harm. I mean, it's extraordinary, isn't it? And it is a real issue.
It is absolutely extraordinary. I refuse to believe that we are losing the war, but I also have to look at data like that and the growing trend of sexual violence perpetrated by teenagers against teenagers. The government has to act, and it will absolutely form a huge part of the government's violence against women and girls strategy that is about preventing that from worsening.